Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. And the science form which was started in 1962, that is about 55 years back nearly now, with a clear-cut objective of popularizing science and having an idea that every Wednesday, that is one day in a week, but here you took that Wednesday, at 6 o'clock, one science lecturer there. Of course, now it's also we were talking, I was telling them, Wednesday is important, that's all the thing else. No date, no month, no year. Come on a Wednesday, there's a lecture here, a beautiful lecture on a science subject. Just imagine like that, I'm conducting 40 years continuously a science festival for 30 days, not 1 or 2 days. We are at 2,771 lecture. Mind-boggling number. There is all the yellow example. No problem. And our first actor, the second actor, because of our actor. This I had told in front of Nobel laureate, Dr. Nigeshi, and in front of Jules Hoffman, another Nobel laureate, both of the current Nobel laureate. He is from Paris and our person is from Purdue, America. By chance, if anyone else had that, anyone else may either in a European country or America should happen. And if you say that I have conducted 2,700 lectures, I told them, they will come first, we will come second, that's all. And Nobel said, nobody can do it. And also, see this fellow speaker, the type of speakers, Professor C.N.R. more than 30 lectures, if I am correct now, not 1 or 2 lectures. And in fact, yesterday, the speaker referred to one superconductivity where Mueller got the Nobel Prize. When he got the Nobel Prize, second day C.N.R. came, not exactly in this room, because this room was not there, particularly Allah was not taking it. And he gave a lecture about high temperature superconductivity. I remember that one. So here, ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಏನು ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ actually. And this lecture is shortly going to be delivered by Dr. S.N. Omkar, Chief Research Scientist, Department of Aerospace Engineering, University of Science, on uninhabited aerial vehicles for all the inhabitants. Today, on behalf of the institutions, and on behalf of you, and on behalf of me, I actually very cordial welcome to Dr. S.N. Omkar. So, distinguished area, and he headed the following labs. Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Lab. Unmanned Aerial Vehicle Lab. So, Computational Intelligence Lab. Now, India has a computer date first of all. This Computational Intelligence Lab, what is saying now, that's important. Then, Biomechanics Lab, order of the day, is very important. And it has about 120 publications in different journals. A number of projects are being carried out under its guidance in the field of UAVs, satellite image processing, biomechanics, etc. Particularly, this is important point for youngsters for sitting here. If they have anything in their mind to pursue the studies, or to make some experiment, or to go for research, or to go for innovation, you can contact him. He is available regarding these subjects. And he handles the courses: Introduction to Helicopters, Flight Vehicle Design. I think you have to attend one lecture, Dr. Girish Devadhare. It is there on 20th. Program Director, Combat Aircraft and Director ADA on Flight Control Systems of LCA. I think the day on which I approached him, only 15 days back I was appointed. And Introduction to Neural Network and Engineering Applications, Biologically Inspired Computing and its Applications, Flight and Space Mechanics, Atmospheric Flight Dynamics, Numerical Programming, Experimental Techniques, and is also a member of several professional bodies. Of course, naturally, a large number of awards. Tempegowda Award from Bangalore, Mahalakapalike, Karnataka State Rajyotsava Award, Karnataka Grand Challenge Award, sponsored by the Karnataka Biotechnology and Information Technology Services for innovation in agriculture using UAV. Innovation in agriculture is so important. Such an important award actually. Membership in professional societies, fellow institution engineers, founder member, treasurer, automatic control and dynamic optimization society, affiliated to AFTSC, member Indian Society for Advancement of Materials and Process Engineering member, Indian Society for Remote Sensing, member American Helicopter because but equally well known for the yoga, in our students yoga. And also is connected to Dalil Kumde in yoga. That also don't forget about it. This is all very important. But he is a very humble man, but I hate that actually. I'm such a distinguished guest here. And generally making fun. I will always start my welcome speech and look at the audience. Once they all is free, I have to complete the welcome speech. But today there is no necessity. Almost the entire thing is full. And imagine it's a multimedia hall having 200 economic seats, completely air conditioned, having an IP address. That means this could be laid in any port place on the planet. If somebody is in New York, somebody is in Beijing, somebody is in Melbourne, if they have a address, they can take this lecture immediately. Such a sophisticated hall. This is a multimedia hall. And several people have given the lecture. And this science festival started in 1978. And the next lecture is very interesting. We are always in our lower classes, we are introduced to science or biology only through butterflies. If I am correct, And I am a physics teacher. If I talk to him about velocity and acceleration, I don't know how much he will appreciate. But if suddenly a biology teacher shows him a butterfly, he will appreciate it very well. In fact, Ramakrishna, butterfly, they couple park, they shake that. Even though it's a great Nobel laureate. And that's a bit actually. Krishna Mekunde, well known to me, he is assistant professor at National Center for Biological Sciences. He is going to speak on butterfly stories from biology to conservation. Such an interesting one. Our just meticulous there. First classification, his reaction was beautiful colored pamphlet from law. And to give it to others, I have to print it. Then I told him, don't worry about printing, I will send another 20 pamphlets, give it to them. Aesthetic sense ಆಗಿದೆ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನಾಳೆ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ರೋಡ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಲಾಲ್ಬಾಗ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಂದು ಫ್ಲೈಓವರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ, ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಐತೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನಾಳೆ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಫಾದರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೇ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮೊದಲು ತಿಂಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತಿಂಡಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಕಾಫಿ ಕೊಡು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಸಂತೋಷ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್. ಹಿಂಗೆ ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ತುಂಬ ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ನಾನು ಕಾಫಿ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಬಲ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ. 10th January, Dr. Y.N. Nanari, you are a great person, Y.N. Nanari, Chairman of Electrical Sciences, Indian Institute of Science. ನಮ್ಮ ಗೋರಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ಅಂದರೆ ನಸೀರ್ನ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರೆ ನರಹರೇ ವಿಚಾರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ, ತಿಂಡಿ ಮುಳಿದವೇ ವಿಚಾರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಇವ್ರು ಬಾಸ್ ವಿಚಾರಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಆಲ್ವೇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಅನ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ವರ್ಡ್. ಅವ್ರು ನಾನು ಏನೋ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೇಳಿದೆ ಈ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಚೈನ್ ವಿಚಾರ. ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅವರು 6 months ಇದೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. He just briefly accepted it. And he said, blockchain is a disruptive technology for the future digital world. And blockchain is a completely new innovation. You know what's called a social network. Network is important there. You know big data analytics. You know artificial intelligence. Each one is a mind pocket. You know what is called robotics. Number prakara, some scientists prakara, all those things will overshadow by the concept of blockchain. And I completely changed the technology in IT information. That's a great innovation. And actually any innovation needs startup, you know. And if you want to do that one, they are starting a course in blockchain for about 20-30 hours. They'll give you a lab for interesting innovation. The person who guides you is Ravi Narayan, Global Director at Microsoft. His subject is how startups use innovation technologies. This is the innovation technology, blockchain, what I am telling you, to solve India's problems like that, really Modi's problems. That's what Modi wants now. Actually, to solve all these problems. Anta lectures today, don't miss any of them. Then not more control. After all, each lecture 45 minutes to 1 hour. And if there are any questions from your side, this week we will answer. With this introduction, now I request our friend, Dr. Omkar, to continue the lecture. Please.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Omkar, for an excellent welcome address. And the Yes, of it, I am very thankful for the Bangalore Science Forum for giving me an opportunity to present some of the research work that we are doing at the Department of Aerospace Engineering, Indian Institute of Science. Earlier, UAV means it used to be called as unmanned aerial vehicles. And the word man, unmanned, why not woman? Therefore, we resorted to a more convenient wording where the gender differentiation does not really occur. So we call it uninhabited aerial vehicles. Now again, those days UAVs were not very popular. Now it is drone, it's in everybody's vocabulary now. Everybody understands the UAVs. Now people, even women will be happy if it is called unmanned aerial vehicles because their claim is because there is no man, it is so successful. But in any way, we call it as uninhabited aerial vehicles for all the inhabitants. So the whole idea is, whatever maybe you are, your current position, these UAVs have a role to play in our life. They are coming in a big way. So that is what we want to just show. And well, this is from our UAV. You can see the video. I think some lights should be switched off. This is a high-dimensional from our UAV. This is our central building. This is our Department of Aerospace Engineering from where I come. So this is where our lab is also there. UAV lab here. And we have a yeah. So I'm going to tell you about the work that we did our aerospace building. Now this resembles the wing of an airplane. So that's how the building is designed. So we have a lab here, and this is just an overview of what kind of vehicles we develop. This is only a sample. We have more than about 50 to 60 varieties of aircrafts we have developed and flown, and some of them have really gone to a good application level. So these are other examples. As you know, there are varieties of vehicles. One is the fixed wing, where wing is actually fixed and can fly. It can have wheel, or we can also hang that. We'll show you a couple of such examples. Then, instead of this being fixed, this is a rotary wing architecture, and it's quite popular. You must have seen these kind of things today in all marriage halls and all those things. They fly this what is called as quadcopters. And well, being researchers, we have gone just beyond flying. We are not just hobby flyers. We do a lot of other work to understand the dynamics of this. Then we have developed another new class of vehicle, which is a combination of these two. One of the advantages of this is that it can go very fast. But it needs some good length of space for it to take off and land. Whereas this, in any constrained space, it can just vertically take off and then move, but the speed, the forward speed is very low. So we are trying to marry the two concepts, and that is what the hybrid vehicle is. This can take off vertically, then tilt, move like a fixed wing. While taking off, it will be like a multi-rotary AV. After that, we have a mechanism to tilt, where it will become like a fixed wing and it will move forward. I'll show you some of those interesting things. These are other varieties of classes. As you can see, this is about end-to-end is about only 300 mm. That's all. 30 centimeters. Whereas this 4 meters. So I'm just trying to tell you that we have a class of vehicles that we have, and everything is designed in-house, fabricated in-house. Of course, the motors, the propellers, still we do import, but all the structures we design and fabricate, and the variety of these things, the delta wing, then the what you call medium altitude surveillance vehicle, the tandem wing is also a very interesting concept, especially when you want to develop a solar-based vehicle. This will be useful. Well, the varieties of applications that we are doing is obviously one of the very popular thing is the surveillance and aerial mapping. What kind of Then we have the package delivery, it's quite popular, but the way they look at it is not just you pick up something and give. There is other optimization, etc. we address. Then organ transport. In fact, they are developing one vehicle. For example, organ transport, any organ, for example, heart or liver, it would be about 4 to 5 kgs. And we have to transport. So we are developing a vehicle for that. Then agricultural applications, power line monitoring, road extractions we can do. Then we have some interesting things like brain computer interface. Then radiation monitoring, and air and water quality monitoring. Then seed bombing is a very recent thing that we tried at Doribidu, the Pinakini River. And then we have gas pipeline monitoring. This is a project which is going to come. And this is the, we will capture the kind of professionalism that we have made. This was designed by our lab for the HAL, and it was fabricated, it was on display during the recent Aero India. Other details are there which you will not really worry about. What I want to say is we have reached the extent of the professionalism where we can be at a very competing edge with the rest of the world. Then this is the modular UAV. You can assemble in just 42 seconds. And in disassemble mode, you can carry it on a backpack. In just 42 seconds, one can easily assemble. And the camera is also mounted. You can get a quick aerial map. For example, in military applications, if the soldier wants to carry this, quickly deploy and know what is ahead of him in some area, he can quickly do. You can see that in flight. So very easy to assemble, rapidly you can deploy. This is one of the important requirements, and this is the overall how the vehicle looks on assembly. Even for disassembling, just you have to remove these two bands, and in less than a minute, it is disassembled. Well, fixed wings have some restriction. It needs some space to take off and land. But the situation is not always so cozy. You may have to really operate in situations like this, where there is not much space that is available. For example, in a forest you would like to do some survey. There are things like we are actually proposing a project to Chhattisgarh. They have asked to monitor because they have this problem with the elephants entering in to the marine areas. So they want to identify, they want to chase the elephants. So you have to identify and chase. Then you will not have a luxury of space to take off on land. And even in urban situation, you will not get a very lengthy or spacious area to launch and recover. Therefore, in such constrained location, what to do? We have developed hybrid vehicles, and they are all flying. I will show you one of this. This is one of the things that we have. It will take off vertically, transition forward. And these class of vehicles are not easy to control. They have their own complications which we have mostly resolved. Then we have gone to the next version of this. As you can see here, this is the next version, which is lighter and more elegant. And this can vertically take off and then transition. This recently we have developed and can tilt and move forward. So these class of vehicles will be very, very useful, especially when you have a very constrained environment where you will not have much space for launch and recovery. See, it can go as high as you want, then tilt forward so that you can transition very fast. And again, you can tilt it and land it vertically down. So that is the big advantage of this class of vehicles. In fact, these class of vehicles hold a great promise in the future. A lot of work is going on, and the difficulties are now it is flying like a fixed wing is going. The difficulties are with respect to the control. How do you control it? Because the whole your measurement system will turn 90 degrees. So there are aspects called gimbal lock, etc. need to be resolved. We are almost at it. Then other class of vehicle that is suitable for this is the helicopter. So we have a project on studying the helicopter. We are not developing the helicopter, but we are buying readily available helicopter. But it is important to understand the dynamic characteristics. So this is the wind tunnel studies. In wind tunnel, we get some of the characteristics. Then we also do the flight characteristics. We mount the sensors here, fly them, and flying the helicopter is not very easy, and we have to make it autonomous. So to make it autonomous, we have to understand the flying qualities of the helicopter. So that's what we are doing, and a lot of work is going on in identifying these models. These are all not really of interest to the general audience, but I want to tell you that we are not flying it like a hobby person. We are trying to understand what is really going on in the vehicle. Then the quadcopter, which you quite often see today's world in all the marriage functions, etc. We are developing our own system. These are more efficient, and we also try to understand what is its stability. When you disturb it in any of the plane, how does it really recover? So all such studies also we do. Being scientists, we need to do so that we acquire flight data on board and try to, you can see this is in flight video on board. The camera mounted on this is what you see. So you can see we are going to disturb it in some of the planes, and when you disturb, what happens to the data? What happens to the data? When you move it like this, for example, see, it's going like this. When you disturb it and leave it, how quickly does it settle? So these are some of the scientific studies under the framework of what we call a system identification, and that is what we are trying to do. So we have almost done and understood the class of vehicles like this. Then there is another octocopter. This is for a good agricultural application. This can lift, this has 8 rotors. It can lift a mist generator, and this mist can be with some pesticides, etc. to be showered on any plantation. Remember the coffee or tea plantation, they have serious problem, and this can generate the mist, and you can move this quadcopter as close to the plant as you wish, and then the mist will be guided onto the leaves, because the pesticides have to penetrate the leaves. So that is one they have developed with octocopter, and it can lift about 4 to 5 kgs. And this now you see this is quite, this is about nearly 1.2 meter diameter. So what we have done is in our next version, I will show you one of the next version there, we have developed a very compact version of this. Very compact. I will show you that. So this is one of the things which can vertically lift, go. The advantage of these rotary things is that you can neatly control wherever you want. You can move it as close as you want. You can move it. You can make it stand still wherever you want. Whereas fixed wing you cannot do that. It has to be in movement. Whereas these rotary things you can have a fine control. And well, this is the edge copter which I was telling you. You can see this also has 8 rotors. You can also lift the same 4 to 5 kg, but this is very compact because rotors we have put coaxial, one below the other. So this is the latest one we have developed, which can actually do the same work what you saw, but much more easier to deploy. So this is where we are heading to, and we can lift about 4 to 5 kg. A similar class of thing with more protective things is what we have developed for organ transport, which I will also highlight in this lecture. So this is we call it a hedgecopter because of the typical shape you see, the form of hedge. So that we can put. And very easy to launch and recover. It does not weigh too much. It is hardly about 2 kgs or so that you see one can easily catch by it. So recovery Nobody is so easy, so efficient, so clean. Then, well, today, you see the order to come to the airport, and from there, one has to create a green corridor. And you know the Bangalore traffic situation, and you know the difficulties associated with creating the green corridor. It is not that easy. The whole traffic will be halted, and the organ will have its own shelf life. One cannot take its own sweet time. One has to really beat all the traffic and somehow make way in reasonable time of less than an hour to the hospital. So generally, it has to reach about 40 kilometer radius from the airport. That should be the capability. And this is how today this kind of compact bags are there where human organs, even heart or liver can be stored, which will have approximate weight of about 4 to 5 kgs. So we need a vehicle which can lift these 4 to 5 kgs, reach a destination of about 40 kilometers, land there. And the moment you say that it has to land properly in a particular place, especially on the rooftop of the hospital, naturally it can't be a fixed wing because you will not have that kind of a large space. You need a perching ability. That is, it's just like a bird as it perches onto a spot. This should be able to do that. So that is what we are at it. Therefore, we are also developed the helicopter. This is a lot of protective mechanism, and this can lift. These are 8 rotors. This we are currently testing. It is the recent one we have developed, very recent testing. And this can take about 4 to 5 kg, and we can make it completely autonomous. In the sense, from one spot to other spot, if you just give the GPS locations, it will go on its own, and it will go there. It will land on that particular landmark or the GPS location. So there are certain issues like flying this class of vehicles in the city populated areas. There are some concerns with respect to the law of rules and regulations, and so they will resolve very soon. Now you can see this is the property of developing for urban transport. This is helicopter, after because there are 8 rotors. Then this is another interesting thing we are working is the using drones for variety of agricultural applications. As you know, agriculture is moving to a new dimension where technology is being heavily deployed. And flying, not only our lab flies, designs drone, flies drones, acquires images, but we also have the ability to process the image. That is, we provide end-to-end solution. We have the ability to process the image also. We use very advanced algorithms to process the image, identify the, for example, yield. Tomato and mango we are working. But just by flying a drone on a particular area, a particular farm, we can give you approximately what is the yield. Not only that, the recent one we are, Government of Karnataka has awarded us a project that we have won the grand challenge from the Department of IT and PT, that is on identifying the diseases in the plants using the drones. I talked a little bit on this. So we have developed using a quadcopter. We have developed extensive onboard computing system and stabilizing system. And this is how. This is a tomato crop. We fly this, acquire the image. You get the image something like this. You can see these tomatoes. That at the end of the 3 months, most of the leaves will go away. Most of the tomatoes they get exposed. You can easily capture in your PAV camera. Once you capture this, your idea is to do the image processing, and we have such fine-tuned algorithms where each tomato can be extracted. And you can actually virtually develop an algorithm to count the number of tomatoes. And that will give you an estimate of the yield. This is very, very important even for the policymakers because today, this is also in one of the fields near Kolar. Kolar tomato problem is some years the rate is from 50 rupees, 60 rupees per kg. And in just 2 months, about 25 paisa per kg, they will not be able to transport, they will throw everything on the road. The reason is the gap in the information. If this neighbor is growing tomato, this guy will also grow tomato, that guy will also grow tomato, and there is a big mismatch between demand and supply. So if at all they know a priori that so much of yield in a particular area is expected, then others can be cautioned not to venture. There is a 3-month crop. So such things are possible using the technology that we have developed. You can see this is the PAV flight video, in-flight video, then another image, we do some clustering, some morphological operation, don't worry about these things. Ultimately, yes, we can get on the promoters. Exactly. This is actual picture, this is what we have extracted, which means there is 1-to-1 match. And this can be automatically counted. We can give you the age, how much is it yielded. We have tested it in one of the form, and the what was actually obtained and what we estimated, they nearly match. Then we will also know whether vegetation mapping is done optimally or not, whether they have left too much of space, etc. All such things can also be given. Then we have extended this study to mango. In fact, we are in the process of patenting this. Mango is a good cash crop, and estimating the yield of mango is also a similar thing, but it is not so easy because tomato is fairly exposed. Whereas this, you have to fly the UAV all around and then get the image and then do a lot of post-processing. We have done that using what we call as deep learning techniques. This is one of the machine learning techniques. This is quite recent algorithm. We use this known as what we call as convolutional neural network. This is a deep learning technique, and this is the original image, and you can see these boxes. See? These boxes are put by our study. That is automatically the computer understands, okay, this shape is available. Even if it is very small sized mangoes, we are able to pinpoint. And you can actually easily count all these things so that you can know actually number of mangoes. In other words, we can also give you what is the yield in terms of the kgs. And other thing we have done is the pre-crop extraction. So this is the EAV, this is from our IAC. We have flown this video of the IAC. Now this portion is extracted, put here. You can see there are a number of trees, and we want to know what kind of trees are there. We can do some classification algorithm and find out this is the bulbul tree, this is the whatever, someone tree, scale of banana, I cannot even spell, and this is some mango trees are also there. So it is possible to extract. So what is the idea? For example, tomorrow in some place, in a forest, one wants to know what is the varieties of trees that exist there. So you can easily fly this, get these images, extract, do the classification, and indicate what type of trees are present. So that is the advantage of this tree from extraction. So this is the central building, this is our Indian for Science. You can see a rich tree cover. Those of you who have visited Indian for Science will appreciate that we still have a very good green cover. The temperatures there will be about 2 degrees lower than the other part of the Bangalore. And of course, these are some of the processing that we do. Again, we use some of the latest learning algorithms. This is what we call extreme learning machines. And the other one we have done, of course, this recently we have patented this. The initial patent has been granted to us to lab. The whole idea is the power line monitoring. See, even today it is a problem. The power line they go in all the places around in the forest, and many of these areas are not easily accessible. But they have to do time to time inspection, and the only way they do is by humans, because each region they have given some genes, some personnel are there, and the moment the humans are involved, it is prone to some errors. Sometimes the officials themselves admit that sometimes they don't go, and they just report that everything is alright. So there is a dangerous situation. And also, to know what is happening somewhere here, you have seen the towers, the hot spots there cannot easily be known from the ground. Otherwise, they use helicopters, which are manned helicopters, and they fly. They cannot go very close again, but they can use some cameras and get some information about this. But using these helicopters is also very expensive thing because about 75,000 rupees per hour and quite dangerous because in hilly areas and all those things, you may not be able to even operate these class of vehicles. So this is where we propose that we can use the UAVs, not only use the UAVs to acquire the images, but also identify the hotspots where there is leak or where there is temperature buildup. We can find out using IR cameras. So this we have used some good learning algorithms, and you can see we have tested one at 126 stage. Then you can extract these lines, and the idea of extract these lines, next time the UAV will fly here, wherever these lines are there, the UAV will automatically track that path. So there is no manual intervention at all. It will track, record the video, transmit the video on board, and send it to a ground control station so that the engineer sitting in the ground can easily identify what is going wrong, if at all there is anything going wrong. Then we have used for the low altitude remote sensing. Again, we have a for road extraction. We want to identify since this is being assembled by one person, there is not much of demand. In terms of the manpower required, that's why I am showing it. It is ready to fly, hand launched. Nothing else. A simple push. It will take you up. You have a camera. Now you get, for example, highway road monitoring. How it is progressing, one wants to know. We have the technology. And if there is any mud road, we can pick up. If there is any tar road, we can pick up. If there are any potholes on the tar road, we can pick up. So road health monitoring, we can easily do. This is the very high resolution spatial image. Once we get this image, we can do the analysis. I'll show you a few results of this, and it will come with geotagging. That is, at what altitude and what exactly the lateral location we are referring to, that will also be recorded. This is for an altitude of 100 meters, and this can vary from 50 to anywhere up to 200 we can go. So then once we obtain this, well, you can see this tar road is mud road. Even these things over image processing, they can extract. So if somebody wants to get this information, you can do it. You see, the landing is very landing. There is no wheel. It will smoothly land. Then we have these images, extract the images, then you can do some image processing and immediately identify what kind of roads they are, whether they are tarred or they are unlaid roads like this. So this can be easily obtained. So this is the advantage of this method. One can.
So I can't help you with that at the moment.
This is again, what we use is again convolutional neural network, the deep learning technique. Then this is very lightweight, made out of the carbon composite, 800 grams. See, just simple push, it will take off. And it will carry about 10 kgs. The overall weight, including the motor, it is just 800 grams. So this is made out of we have a very novel way of making a carbon composite truss. Truss means is a type of truss member which can carry high load. So this is what we have made. So we have successfully flown, and now we are developing an automatic way of binding the truss. Then this is another interesting thing. Recently we were in some good news because of this work. That is, can these drones be flown using the thumbs? Suppose if I think it has to go up, it should go up. If I think it has to go left, it should go left. If I think it has to go right, it should go right. If I think it has to come down, it should come down. Well, the idea came because some experiment we were doing, like raising the temperature of the palm. I did this experiment, and just by instruction, I was able to raise the temperature of the palm by 2.5 degrees centigrade. And we presented this in one of the international yoga conferences where we got the first prize. This was about 3 years back. this simply to tell that, okay, the mind is quite powerful, the intention that you carry, what you think, the focus of thought, the thought has a power. And thankfully, some devices which are wireless, head-mounted EEG, is the electroencephalography of that. Where the electrical activities of the brain can be captured and processed. That is available, and we got this, and DRDO generously supported us for this work. It is still going on. Now we are going to the next level of analyzing these things, simplifying this, etc. Is it really possible to fly? So this is what we did, and we have some good indications. As you can see, this is what we call as the brain control interface. First, we were trying to use, this is one of our students, trying to also, is not using the gesture, but as he is thinking, moving up, to reinforce the thought, he is also using the hands, move up and down. Then we have transitioned to that, simply sitting you can fly. I will show you towards the end, you will see. We did a lot of experiments, there are a lot of failures, because the analysis of the EEG signals is very, very complex. It is not easy to understand. There are 14 channels here. It is not easy to decode what is really useful. And then we slowly learned what is to be used, what is to be neglected. Then we reached this stage where we say, I am sitting and flying. And we were able to make it move left, and we were able to make it come back. So just by sitting just focused thought, we were able to fly the vehicle. So this is the brain computer interface, you can see here. Vehicle flying, the control. We have got the video for paucity of time. So you can fly, you can make it stand still, you can bring it down or make it move up. So all this simple mind control. There is no other interface. The wireless signals will go to a computer, that will send the command to the quadcopter. Simply then go to the next slide. Well, this is another interesting thing that we have done. Now, in some areas, if necessary, you want to take a overview from a big height. Let us say in some you want to do a surveillance. You have gone to some spot. You want to see how surrounding area looks from about 300 meters or 500 meters. For that, we have developed what is called a tethered quadruped or tethered quadcopter. It means the quadcopters, the limitation is they can fly only for about 30 minutes maximum because of the battery. But if you can carry the power from the ground and through a cable you give that power, it can fly infinitely, ideally more than 24 hours. That is what we tried, and we have successfully done that in our lab. We were able to fly for 24 hours continuously. This was flown. We have monitored all the temperatures. There was no big difference in temperature of the motor, etc. There are thin cables running. You will not be able to see in the video, but that you can see here the thin cable is there which will carry the power, which will also can bring the images from the camera, the video. This is we are measuring the temperature. And 24 hours we have flown non-stop and proved that this is an affordable technology. Then we did a large area mapping at our Chilakere campus, IISc at the Chilakere campus. The area is about 1,600 acres. So we were able to do that in the Chilakere campus. We have flown the aircraft there. We have acquired the image, then we do some image processing. We have to strip the image because the image will come like in pieces. So we have to mosaic the image properly. A lot of tagging, etc. is required so that it can be used for further analysis. So this is what the image is. The whole Chilakere campus. Then one can zoom into any spot. Wherever you want to look at, that you can zoom in. because this is the main game. Like that you can do a lot of things. They have reduced the resolution. You can get better resolution images for purpose of saving time. They are not carrying high resolution images. Well then, this is a big problem. River water pollution. Now they are talking a lot about how to monitor the pollutions in the rivers. Because river also does that it is long length, goes to various places, and it is very important to know where it is getting contaminated. In some popular places like Kashi and Varanasi, we know what is happening. But there could be some other places which the industry can be exploited because it is not easily accessible. So, what is the need of the hour is a UAV which can land on water and take off from water. So that calls for a totally different technology because landing and taking off from water is not very easy. And we at our IIC where we land, we spend a lot of time in designing some specific vehicles which can land and take off water. And we did our initial experiment at the Aerospace lake. So this is the aircraft. You can see the floaters here. And the design of this is also not very easy. In fact, we had several failures. We had the whole aircraft down there. In one of the experiments, our students had to find it very difficult to pull it out of the water. But we learned lessons gradually and we are able to successfully come out with a vehicle which can land and take off from on the surface of the water. We can put the sensors on this pollution sensor and get the data immediately. That is the idea. You can see in the Aerospace lake smoothly takes off from the surface of the water. The design of these floaters is also equally important. You can do the sorting, you can land anywhere else, take the data there, go to the next station, go to the next station, but it can do tens of stations, take the data and come back. So that very easily the persons, the monitoring bodies can get the data. And it can very gently smoothly land on the water surface. And these are some of the details. So this is the close view of the aircraft, and we have made enough space so that the sensors can be formed. Then other important thing is the radiation monitoring. Because we know today a lot of nuclear power. So in case of any eventuality, human cannot access that. So what to do? There are sensors that are available, but human cannot access. So we came up with an idea of mounting these sensors on a UAV and launching it so that the data that is collected from the sensors can be relayed to a ground control station which is far away in a safer place, and this UAV can go record the data. Wherever the suspected site of infection, it can report the data. And the UAV can also, for example, if the data, the radiation levels are too high, we don't want UAV to come back because even this material will be infectious. So we have also given provision for a suicidal mission, in which case it will report the data and just go dead there. It should not come back. That is the idea. So we have done this. But to prove the technology was not easy. Because how do you prove? Now we don't have a nuclear calamity. You cannot expect. And in the lab there are some cobalt etc. that are available. But the radiation levels are very, very small. You cannot pick up from a height. Then our students through study they found out that in Kerala, in the Chavara coast, where the natural radiation level is 12 times higher than Bangalore. So then our team went there, we flew our vehicle to know whether the technology works, and we approved. And this is supported by Department of Science and Technology. They are on the verge of patenting this. And well, this is some of the sensors. I'll just show you the video. This is Chavara coast, where there are some metals which, because of which the natural radiation is 12 times higher than Bangalore. So this is the thing. The motivation is again, well, several calamities have taken place. Worst radiation disasters around the world. To name a few is the Japan, you have remember, nobody can forget this. Then the Chernobyl, then US couple of things, UK. So when such a thing happens, no human can go there, it's very dangerous. So only UAVs can go get the report. And at the Indian Institute of Science, we thought of this idea, yes, why not we take it up. Thankfully the government funded us. So we started from here, we went to the Chowra coast to measure. Initially we did measurement using quadcopter because it's very easy to control it. We wanted to check with altitude what really happens. We did that, and all these things did not really come just like that. We did have our share of difficulties in the radiation sensor board, and the data can be acquired in real time and can be displayed on our computer. It will also be recorded on board, and on board also we have a camera. So in long distance flight we also know where exactly you are looking at, where the radiation level. You can do the GPS tagging and create a radiation map immediately so that you will know where exactly you have absorbed this radiation. You can see this is at Bangalore, and the top one is at Chowra, about 12 times higher. Then we also came with the UAV. This is called bungee launch. Using an elastic tube, we launch it and we go. And this we have the radiation sensor, and we have found wherever when the Chowra cloud comes, the radiation level peaks up. So that we are able to pick up, and you see this board shows where we are flying, and those flags will show you the radiation levels. And when doing this, something happened. I'll also show you that. When our students were doing, this is belly landing, very safely it lands. So I will land by hand, and you can do real-time sensority with GPS tagging. This is a full-fledged system, and this is onboard camera, as seen by our UAV. So you know where you are going, what you are measuring, and this is the radiation level distribution you can easily get. Yes, sometimes things are lost. We did lost our aircraft, and the aircraft was worth about 5 lakhs with all the sensors, and God knows what happened. They say it is God's own land, Kerala, and really God was helpful to us. You see, we lost communication, and you see the altitude, what is happening. We lost control. Our students had no clue, and it happened around evening, and they were left with no clue. It's going somewhere, nobody knows where it's going. Lost communication with the aircraft. Altitude is coming down, ground speed is coming down. We don't know what will happen, and our students went to a police station. Thankfully, the locals were very going and got trapped in something. And you see, interesting part, someone came. This is recorded by the camera on board. He doesn't know there is a camera. He picked it up, and he's picking it up. He doesn't know what it is, but still he was interested, and he wanted to rotate and check what will happen. And thankfully he took it to his mouth. He was honest to that extent. See that person, well built. Suppose aircraft is not that heavy, and he took it on his cycle, and 7 hours they searched, and this WhatsApp has helped. The locals sent a lot of WhatsApp, and then the aircraft was found unscathed. This is our team. So, well, there is that on the staff, they all helped, and we did this project. Some locals who helped us. This is the Indian Rare Metals Lab. That's about our radiation story, and they are in the process of patenting this now. So there's something interesting there. Here. Yeah. Well, flying these vehicles is not as easy as we think, because not always we have the space left for it. There could be somebody says, I just want to go on this road. When we are driving, we understand what road is. But how does the autonomous vehicle understand? So that means image processing. And also when there are some trees like this, when you want to do some such and rescue operation, you cannot expect there are, this is not a chief minister. So it has to really maneuver a lot. So now we are working on how to do this obstacle avoidance. We have some preliminary results. Now I see in the routes it goes. We have used what we call the texture-based machine learning algorithm, but it will go through the woods. This is our IAC campus, which will allow us to do a lot of such experiments very easily. Because there are a lot of trees around. And we also tried one more method, which is based on the optical flow. That's also a very interesting result. It will just maneuver very easily. This is using another method called optical flow. And we are now combining both these methods to make it more optimal. It can also go on the road, it can go between the trees. We don't have to guide, it will approximately indicate the destination. The computer will understand everything, any obstacles, it will maneuver by itself and take it. So this has a lot of applications, especially in order to deliver some important drugs to some inaccessible areas. One of the applications. Like that, several applications can be thought of. Then, we want to do, for example, some problems are going on, like this suspicious activity detection has been done. And now we have a large screen, so many places the videos will be there. You cannot expect a man to look at some 24 videos and get some information. So what we have developed an algorithm which from the camera feed will detect any of these things and immediately alert. So we have published a paper on this. You can go to this. I will not go into these details. Yeah, this is from the video. You can immediately mark and mark it if you have done any such activity. So this activity level can be defined, like one person hitting the other, etc. We have done a lot of studies. We have shown one simple, and we have achieved about 82% accuracy. So that can help the monitoring authorities. Then a swarm of drones, you want to fly 2 to 3 drones with one command. That is possible now. Both will act as we say. One command, both will obey. For a variety of purposes can be used. For example, so lifting some loads, one year you cannot be sufficient. You may have 2, 3 or 4. Is one of the examples. So that is possible. Then deforestation is one of the serious things. So recently what we thought was we use the drones for seed bombing at the top. Bombing is not a good word, but some of the press selected to use that word. I am using that word, but we are dropping the seeds from the UAV. Recently we did this work at the Pinakini River. There is something called as Pinakini River. There is no river right now there. But still, we thought we will use this as a launching pad. So, know this conventional method, well, needs a lot of manpower, monitoring, etc. Advantage of using UAV is you can fly the UAV to even inaccessible area, drop the seeds. You can also record the image before dropping the trees and seeds, and maybe after 3 months again you can fly the UAV, get to know whether what is the effect of this seed drop. You can do the image process. You can do time series analysis and know the effectiveness of this, because there are a lot of issues for people who are in the agricultural field. Understand that dropping some seeds is not just the idea. You should understand the local ecology. Dropping some seeds in some non-compatible area can be counterproductive. So that's why there is some studies that need to be done. All such studies will be possible when you recruit or when you use these kind of technology based on hearings. So seed balls can be made. In fact, this we made recently, and we tried this, and we flew, and we used this. This is our team. We put the seeds, and we were able to drop from the air. And this is the recent one we are developing. This is solar UAV. We are hinging a lot of hopes on this. You should all pray for our success, because this is one of the fantastic things. If it really happens, we can fly Because today, the maximum AAV can fly is for about 3 hours with all fantastic guidance. So be serious. Most of us can fly for about 1 hour. We are looking at systems that can fly for days together, 7 days, 1 week it should fly using the solar power. Now, this is just photograph taken yesterday. We have made this. We are about to test, but somehow the weather of Bangalore is not permitting us to do anything with the sun now. Maybe as soon as the weather improves, we will do this testing so that we can fly at least for 24 hours non-stop. Well, as a lab, we do have a lot of social concern. We do a lot of outreach programs. We go to a lot of schools. We educate them. We inspire the students that these are some of the things that they can actually try and experiment. And at some level, this is not a very, very costly hobby at all. Very, very simple. A group of students can get together at a school, can easily fund these kind of projects. And our team, they are about 20 number. They are so nice that they respond to students, and we all go and do a lot of the outreach programs, several schools, and this is what? This is from Dept aircraft. Recently we are trying this to fly at high speed, flying at about 300 kilometers per hour. So this is some thing that we are trying to do. Just accelerate this. Okay. Modules are a link. So this is at the Ujire, one of the schools. So many students, you can see several enthusiasts. Our purpose is that, okay, we also educate them, we take all our vehicles, we fly for them. It is good to see the kind of joy that they get. So this is one other aspect that gives us some satisfaction of having done this kind of work. So this again, recently we went to school. There was a science exhibition that was going on. We do some chocolate drop, but we give some treat to the students. From our UAV we drop some chocolates. These are some of the things that we do. This is the header admission. Here we made, you can see our campus, our department. So these are some of the kind of work that we are doing. So this is the aerial view. We have a campus of about 350 acres, and this is our teams. Some new members are also there. These are some of the knowledge to our lab. Recently, we were awarded rupees 10 lakh for doing for our innovative idea on using drones for agriculture. Honorable Chief Minister Siddaramaiah handed over rupees 10 lakh. This is a pilot project. We are already on it, and we got a lot of coverage for our mind-driven drone radiation and the crop disease monitoring that is going on. Even the TV media was kind enough to give us a lot of opening by providing us good encouragement in terms of showcasing our work. Well, this is the aerial view of the Department of Aerospace where I come from. I thank you all for your patient listening. If there are any questions.
ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ 5 or 10 minutes. For more than 70 years ಏಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕೆಲಸ
ವಯಸ್ಸಾದ ಮಾಡಬೇಡ, ಬಟ್ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಬಿಡಬೇಡ, ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. So apart from that, it's interesting. This particular lecture is in honor of Dr. H. Narasimhaya. Alludi, Dr. H. Narasimhaya and Science Education Series. So Dr. H. Narasimhaya is synonymous with National Education Society. And if you see at the back, his photo is there. And he is also founder of the Bangalore Science Forum. And under his guidance, all these things started. That's correct. He was principal here from 1960 to 71 or something like that. Only PCM combination. And it is under the guidance of Dr. H. Narasimhaya. The college went up to such a remarkable height. The real National College brand name was built. National College is a National College. Your National College is a guest category. Or letter presentation. This function is at the National College campus and so on and so forth. Now wait for that way. So National College ಬಸ್ಗಳು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ಯಾರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಲೇಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಸ್ಗಳು ಇದೆ. ಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ನೇಮ್. ಮೋರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತಲೆ ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋ and H. Narasimhaya and Science Education Series. ಅವ್ರು ಹೋದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಆ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಈ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ 58 ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗೋದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಹಚ್ಚಿಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟಿವಲ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ 13th in the series and fittingly on a subject which is meant for the general public and meant for villages. Totally, because he likes them, you know. That's why I started our college in Gauribidnur and Bagepalli. After I got to it, never the government thought of opening a college in Bagepalli and Gauribidnur at that point of time, 60 years back. Now, education ideas. Today, every corporator, every MLA, every minister opens only education institution. You know for what purpose it is. ಅವತ್ತು ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ನಮ್ಮ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಸು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ನಿಯರ್ಲಿ 3,000 to 4,000 ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಅವ್ರ ತಂದೆ 10,000 rupees ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ 10,000 rupees ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇದ್ದಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ 3,000-4,000 ಹುಡುಗರನ್ನ BCom, BSc, BA ಗ್ರಾಜುಯೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾಟ್ 1 day, ನಾಟ್ 1 year, ನಾಟ್ 2 years, 60 years ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್. And actually, this was a beautiful lecture. ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ 5 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಯ್ತಾ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಯ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. Completely live, you know, something was moving on the screen. It's not just giving a lecture, actually. And ಬಹಳ ಹಂಬಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಬಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಾಗಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಟಚ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. I don't think you can have any one more lecture like that. In fact, today, on behalf of the Bangalore Science Forum and you and me, I again thank Dr. Omkar. So I already told you, tomorrow Dr. Krishna Kunte will speak on butterfly stories from biology to conservation. And now, the session is open for discussion. Now ready ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ready ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. You ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಲೆಕ್ಚರ್ every day first person ಹೋಗೋಕೆ ತಪ್ಪೇನಿಲ್ಲ. No problem. So, in fact, questions only those who are below the age of 30 are ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಪ್ಪ, ನೀವು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅವ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೂಲ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರು ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾಕೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಗೌರವಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಸಿಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾಳೆಯಿಂದ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲ ಅದೇ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಮೂವಿಂಗ್, ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ more fascinating than the best of mathematics or physics lectures come. Though they are fundamental, let me not try. ಇದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಮನೆಯೇ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾಲ್ಕು ಕೂಡ ಬೇಕು.
ಸರ್, ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಪವರ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ. ಸಪೋಸ್ instead of one person at the same time, ibru same command na kottaga vehicle ಮೇಲೆ effect ಏನು ಆಗಬಹುದು?
ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ on that mounted device and only that can talk to your
same time ಎರಡು command ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಸಿ ನಾವೇನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಮೋಟಿವೇಶನ್. ಪ್ರೇರಣೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೆನ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. ನನಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಇದು ಡ್ರೋನ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್, ಇದು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಡ್ರೋನ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದು can we also control mind like this? I just remembered it now. Anyway, so the whole idea is, yes, we have one mounted device. We talk to a laptop, it will send the signals to laptop, where it will understand and give the command to the quadcopter. Another person thinking that giving in principle is possible. And you can prioritize, for example, based on signal strength. If somebody is thought is more focused, you can make that trigger. That is possible, but I don't know what kind of application that could have.
Effect ಏನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕ.
ಸಪೋಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಬ್ರು ಮೈಂಡ್ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕೊಡೋ ತರ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ
because it is about the mind, we cannot say, but if the signals are of similar nature and if it can be superimposed, yes, it does work. Hardware.
Next.
My question is, how much it is exposed to army? Because we have seen the drone is used in Syria and all this. So how our Indian military is exposure to it and how they are using it? Are they approached ISC or some chain?
Right now, I think whatever is army using most of it is imported as right now. But here, yes, technology is developing, not that they are lagging. Maybe, well, the building positions are improved, and if better funding comes, I think we have the capabilities to scale to the international level. We can do that. I think army is slowly getting in.
The speed matters. The drone speed, as you told, the after and all.
No, that's what I missed that video.
The last one.
Last one, I missed it because that flight is illegal. In the sense, we have flown it in some private space because this needs a long path. After the even IAS fly ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. The IAS is now surrounded. MS medical car is there. BEL ಇದು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ರೈತನದು ಅವನು ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅವನು ಈ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೋಸ್ ಡ್ರೋನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ನು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ಗೆ 2,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. He knows, he uses the same word, one landing won't take up 2,500 ರೂಪಾಯಿ. So the level of understanding is so high, but they can fly about 300 kilometers per hour. Of course, we are working on this direction because we are on a sensitive project. I will not be able to disclose those things. But it is very soon possible, 300 kilometers per hour, easily we can achieve.
So any licensing is required for
Yeah, there is a big debate going on even today. So it is not completely resolved yet. People are really tiring around, and I think Karnataka government has formed some committee. We have to see what happens. But right now there is no rule in place. Strictly speaking, all flying outside by any other is illegal. Research institutes can fly for purpose of research. And in fact, I don't know, it is off the record please. Our lab also has the distinction of paying the first bribe for flying the drone. our person was playing in Nesargata. One police caught him, he said it is illegal. I'm sorry, yes, sir, model, no record. They are off the record.
Very happy to listen to your lecture, sir.
Thank you.
ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Actually, it is got multifaceted applications in every field, in every walk of life. I am very happy and knowing by your talks that the agriculture sector is getting some benefits. Likewise, I am a power engineer from Dept KEB. Do you have a late agreement or any policy, I mean, any pact with KPTCL or BSF or some
We will be happy to do that. If you can connect us, I will be very happy. We have the technology in place. In fact, we are looking at somebody to take our ideas.
Thank you, sir.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ತಡಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್
So first of all, this was a very great talk. I'm studying aeronautical engineering. So my question is that I haven't worked on some RC models. So the major bottleneck is the battery, as you said. Most commercial planes like 35 minutes tops. That's the life we can get. We have also seen like military grade drones like the Predator and Reaper, which have hours of flying time because of the engines. We have action jet engines. So the turbine engines we get are only 10 minutes flying time, and fuel is the major problem there. But I was wondering if it would be possible to integrate an actual IC engine, like a lightweight aluminum engine or something, into a small scale RC machine.
Yes, we are already doing it. We are on that. Come to our lab, you can see. But there are some problems with vibration which
Nice.
recently our students said today they have resolved. That, so hopefully in another 1 month we will have it.
So we can achieve the power to weight on such a small scale. That was my question.
We are hoping to fly a octocopter for about 2 to 3 hours.
Thank you, sir.
Hi sir, it was a great lecture. So I'm from National College and I'm in second PU. So my question was, so what is the basic principle you use for balancing the copters or the drones?
Balancing?
The copters or the drones? The drones.
Principally used in balancing.
Balancing, yeah, you see, these sophisticated electronics, the onboard stability boards do have stabilizers and controls. We have to use them. Without that, you cannot fly. Without that, to hold it, you are talking about the stability of the quadcopter or anything. The onboard stabilizing systems are in place today. So we have to use these electronics.
And sir, you were talking about the temperature. How will it affect the flight time of the copter? The temperature.
Oh, temperature, see, when you are flying it for long hours, we should ensure that motor will not get into something called burnout. So we want to monitor the temperature. If the temperature is going exceeding the limits, then because these are all brushless DC motors, it can get into some problems. So that's why it is essential to monitor in shape. Once you are confident, we don't monitor.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, any work going on micro drones, palm-sized drones?
Well, a lot of things not initiated. In fact, that's how things began. That's how we also did some 300 mm thing. But that was there. For example, take about 2 to 3 years back, people were talking about nanoscale, palm down, and all those things. But suddenly when the application started picking up, now there is a sudden boom. Now people are not much looking at that, people are working. But now there is a big shift towards bigger vehicles which can actually do something. Yeah. But nonetheless, many things are going on. One of my PhD students is working on insect flight, theoretical study. It's going to submit now. But yes, things are going on, but that rigor which was there about 2 years back seems to have slightly waned.
Good evening, sir. I was flying for model hobby, something, both the line control models as well as remote controls. It is very nostalgic to hear your lecture. Sir, I have one or two questions. This vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that has been there, say, I think at least 2-3 decades back, is not very something similar to what the drone technology is. Maybe something similar, like say, the propelling is when the engine is mounted horizontally, when they have to take off, it is made vertically up so that the lift is given, so that they could take off the decks up beyond the aircraft carriers, etc. And my second question is there any possibility, at least on the horizon, that you could solve with the team of your experts the Bangalore traffic problem, having analogous unmanned drones to carry people around without having to move around on the roads of Bangalore?
To answer your first question, yes, bigger class of vehicles, for example, the Aerospace V22, vertical traction, that was there, it's about 20-year-old program. But on a UAV scale, there was not much. So, not to say that nobody has done in the world, people have done. But these some of the things that we have done is something unique to our country. In our country, we don't see any such work. So we are trying to do that. Your second question, well, manned flight, can this carry a man? Definitely possible. But here, today, issues with the legalities is on the high. So that has to be resolved. In fact, jet propelling, what we used to see long back in movies, today it has become reality. Where people have demonstrated elsewhere in the world. It's quite possible. But in our country, such studies are still not made. Although we have the ability, we know that we have the ability to carry a man. But these kind of things need some good funding and again looking at the legalities. And also even if at all that comes to true, the implementation has several problems in terms of the management of the space. It's a very, very serious thing. And that can be more hazardous than the actual traffic hazard that we are going through now. So I think, well, it could happen. We'll have to wait.
Okay,
A very good evening, sir. I'm doing my MSc Physics in St. Joseph's College. So I just want to ask you that do we have any kinds of internships or projects in your institution that we are willing to do? Would you provide
do.
us?
In fact, in the whole of Institute, I must tell you with pleasure that our lab supports the maximum number of interns. Every year, nearly 100 people go through our lab.
Oh, that's good.
But there are some criteria that has to be met.
So how to know the criteria? Like how
Well, you should send your resume, and they have
Engineering physical how to apply.
yeah,
use drones for studying ocean bed or search operations of missed flights, etc., airplanes. Are there any constraints regarding this if you use drones for search operations?
no constraint that way not much, but there are, even playing in IAC, it is constraint. Because now, you play at about 2.5 gigahertz, that the signal use. And because of this Wi-Fi, everything, and because of a lot of mobile towers coming in, a lot of internet, in fact, we have lost several aircrafts. We were sometimes, one of the aircraft We were doing one air show. The pilot went a little high, and a lot of kids were around, and it took up a lot of speed, and some servo got locked, and it just vanished. We didn't know what to do. Then, with great difficulty, we found it hit for ICICI Bank top. There was one beautiful, expensive board. Just all that it has done. It saved us. And once it went to MS Ramaya College, we were worried that they will complain or something. We didn't know it. We know it has gone there. Then we thought, oh, maybe they will launch some complaint. But 2 days later, that fellow came with the copter in search of our lab and thankfully handed over, sir, I hope this will take it. So they are also kind. What I said is, this kind of communication was very difficult. But now I think our students are very well decoded. They are making vehicles which can take the long range capabilities.
Even the distance, like the ocean bed, to study the ocean bed, coral reefs.
In principle, it is possible. Technology is available. Although we have not gone more than 10 kilometers. But technology is available. We will be able to do with what we know.
And is it possible to plunge it into water and bring it back?
We did show that amphibious.
No, not just floating on it, something kind of a submarine.
It is possible, in principle, that calls for designing the motors which are waterproof. And the moment any electronic becomes waterproof, the cost gets multiplied by a factor of 10.
Hello sir, it was nice hearing you talk. Now one limitation of a drone is the range where you can control it. So as the range increases, the cost will also increase. Can there be a system in place where there are multiple controllers at intervals of like 50 kilometers so that non-stop a drone can fly for a long range?
We are proposing such things where you have multiple stations.
Because
we are looking for some funding. We have just made the proposal submitted to a good agency. With the given funding, we will demonstrate this.
Because if you have a battery life of like say 6 hours and a good speed of 70 kilometers, you can only go through a small region. But if you have the controllers, you can.
We can do great technology is available. Very good telemetry are available. God will do that. Can be done.
So is it in place or are you working on it?
We are working on it. Let us see. If we get the funding, we will take it.
How you track it?
Hello.
How you track it?
Oh, the GPS tracking is there. Yeah.
You get control.
Oh yeah, you can change the path as it flies on the ground control station. This very laptop our students use, you can dynamically change. It will be mapped on the Google map. You can see if you want to change. If you change here, it will also obey. Say. Oh yeah.
I think it's getting late, 7:45. And formally we do the session. Facility is available. You can come to ask and talk to me. Thank you.
Thank you all.
You also enjoy it. It's a good time. ಬನ್ನಿ ಮಾತಾಡಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ದಿನ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ
Very nice to see you on the audience.